Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today we have Season 5 of my Saints rebuild. And if you guys probably watched one of my earlier videos that came out before this, you guys will know what I'm talking about when I say I'm frustrated with Madden. But we're not going to go into that. We're here to rebuild the Saints. So Season 5, last season, I do 5 seasons and then I'm done. That's where we leave the team off, basically. So, can we win a Super Bowl? Let's go ahead and see. We'll go ahead and check out the team, and then we'll get to the midseason mark. So the team is still progressing in the correct ways. Michael Thomas hasn't regressed too much. Randy Dupree is going to take over this year. I think he took over last year as well. Trotman still backing up. He still has a couple years left on his contract. The running backs aren't exactly where I want them to be. We have 3 quarterbacks. If one of them doesn't work, let's just move on to the next one. But I think Jackson's going to be fine for us. Devontae Smith here. Brian Edwards as well. Jawan Johnson, Trotman. I have negative 10 million, so I can't even sign the last 3 roster spots even if I wanted to. So that's why Trotman and Jawan Johnson are playing 5th and 6th wide receivers for us. McCray, Browning, McCoy, Ruiz, and Ramczyk, they've been the starters for the last couple years, and they're going to continue to be. Defense. Jordan Bricks apparently went all the way up to Superstar X Factor, and then got immediately decreased all the way down to Star. So if you guys watch that video, you guys will understand why I'm upset. Davenport, Williams, Vick, and Wembley. Wembley will be starting this year. Cam Jordan's just too low of an overall. If this was real life, I think Wembley would take over, so we're going to take him, put him at left end. Lattimore and Adebayo, our cornerbacks 1 and 3. CGJ, our cornerbacks 2 and 4, with Gilmore. Overstreet and Sheldon will be strong safeties, and free safeties will be Williams and Stevenson. It's a very good defense. They just got to put it together this year. Kicker and punter, McPherson and Bailey. Specialists, just probably best available mostly. We are going to start Wembley, of course, like I said. I think it's just a smart thing to do. We're going to put Jordan at both the backup edge rushers, though. CGJ, Stevens, and Sheldon all in the slot. Brooks, Warner, and Thomas at sub-backer. Kamara starting at both the running back positions. And then Smith, Denny, and Johnson all in the slot. At the midseason mark, we are 3 and 4, second in the division, above the Packers and Falcons, right below the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It will shake out a little bit more as we get through the season, but as of right now, we are in second place and with a below 500 record. We're going to go into player negotiations, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts if we were going to be doing another season. And if we do, just to see if we could make the Super Bowl, what I will do is I will just go through free agency by myself, sign as many players as possible. Even though that we probably wouldn't be able to sign anybody if we did re-sign our top 4 guys right now. Marshawn Lattimore, Doug Browning, Ryan Ramczyk, and Marcus Williams are all here. Dominic Stump, the backup D-tackle that I drafted, is here. Greg Brown, the quarterback that I traded from last year, is here. Yanovich and Kevin McDonald. All 3 of these dudes could easily be replaced in the draft, but I'd have to bring the other 4 back. Marshawn Lattimore is must as a high 90 corner. You have to bring back for at least 3 to 4 years. Doug Browning, I'd probably put on a 7-year. Ryan Ramczyk, 3-year. And Marcus Williams, about a 3-year as well. It would go in the order of overalls of who I need to bring back. But with only $50 million to do so, it would get quite, short on money very fast. Let's just put that out there. I'm going to try to re-sign them just in case we do a 6th season, which the 6th season will be a part of this video as well. I'll just go through. I'll start the season and be like, hey, this is where we're starting. This is what the team looks like. And I'll send them to the playoffs. If we make the playoffs, we'll go through it. But if not, then I'll just hop out and just be like, okay, we're done. But I will try to re-sign those guys before I move on. Marshawn Lattimore, I'm giving a 7-year, $161 million deal. So basically the same thing that Quinnen Williams got. And he does stay. Doug Browning is getting a 7-year, $126 million deal with 18 as the salary. If he signs, great. I will franchise tag him if I have to. Ryan Ramczyk, we're also going to give a very big deal to, 7 years, $112 million. All these guys, remember, without putting a signing bonus on your guy, you can cut them at any time for no penalty over those next couple years. So you won't be in cap hell. Now, it does get more expensive by the years go on, but you do save some money in the short term. You may be saying how I got this 17.4 million. What I went ahead and did was I basically took anybody who didn't have a penalty that I don't think is in the long-term plans of this team. So Trotman, Stephon Gilmore, and Cam Hayward. Released them all. I will re-sign them back once I get Marcus Williams, but I don't even know how much he would want. That's the biggest problem for me. We're just going to start off at 12 million, 7 years deal, 83 points. Okay, he signs. Cool. So at the playoffs, we ended up going 8-9. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I stopped at week 17 to purposely upgrade my players so we would have a better chance of winning, and we lost out. Like, we were 8-7. We had to win our last 2 games to even make the playoffs, because our last 2 games were literally against, I'm pretty sure, the Falcons and the Panthers. So if we win our last 2 games, we're sitting at, 10-7 instead of 8-9. But so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna upgrade players. We'll get to the off season, and I'll do a very condensed version of the off season, and we'll start at the season next year. This will all be in the same video, and we will just hurry up and go through the season and see if we make the playoffs after that. If we don't make it, whatever, I'm done. So retirements, I would take it Cam Jordan and Stephon Gilmore. Yep, they both retire since their contracts were not guaranteed. Bunch of linemen retire. Nothing too special. Actually, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, James Conner, Devontae. Actually put a good amount of people actually retired. Not going to bring any of these guys back in the re-sign period. Even if I wanted to bring any of them back, they're just too expensive to bring back in the re-sign period. So after releasing everybody I could, including practice squad players, Nyheim Hines, Adam Trautman, Alim McNeil, Xavier Howard, George Brown, Noah Gray, Brennan Cooks, Mike Montgomery, Josh Jordan, Brian James, Ben Howard, Tyler Jones, and Stephen Lucas. Free agency goes as follows: Nyheim Hines, Xavier Howard, Leonard Williams, Noah Gray, Brandon Cooks, Tony Bowen, Mike Montgomery, Josh Jordan, Brian James, and Dorian Richards. Pete Werner and a first-round pick of next year for Roquan Smith and David Montgomery. This solves our backup running issue. This solves our linebacker issue. With this trade, we're sending a first-round pick of this year and a second-round pick of this year as well to the Jags for Josh Allen. We're going to end up trading down with the Cleveland Browns. We're going to regain some draft picks at least. Just makes the most sense here. Going to make another deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars here. We're trading down our third-round pick at pick 10 for a second of next year. Trading down, once again, like I said, I don't really have anybody on my board to be particular. Just going to mass trade this last set of picks down. 4, 7, and a 7 of this year for a 5 and a 4 of next year from the Cowboys. Clayton Williams out of Oklahoma State. Just need a linebacker here. If he's good enough, he'll just be a backup for years to come. Aaron Urban, right guard out of South Carolina, 23 years old, 6'4", 306. Sammy Beckham, the last guy I had on my board. I knew a little bit about him, but nothing too spectacular to tell me what exactly he's going to be. Not quite as good as I expected, but it's whatever. It's last year. They're not going to matter. Let's just get to the start of the season. We'll show off the team, and then we'll hopefully go to the playoffs. Okay, so we're going to go through this season real fast. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the team. I don't have the depth chart set up. I will set it up real quick before we get going, but this is just the first set. So our QB did end up having Superstar X Factor. I don't know if I said anything during the last season. He did end up having Superstar X Factor right out of college. So that's very, very cool. Nothing else really to note. We did bring in some running backs and stuff, but you guys just saw that. Roquan's here now. If Jordan Brooks would still have Superstar X Factor, that'd be dope. But he doesn't. Josh Allen's here as well. Wembley actually got moved up to star. That's dope as well. We got plenty of players. Now can we just put it all together? At the playoffs, we did end up going 14-3, getting the 1 seed. I'm going to show you guys the schedules just so that it's not like, oh, he probably, forced wins to make sure that he makes the playoffs in his final season. No. No reason to. That was playoff schedule, you dumb sack of shit. Regular season. No forced wins. No played wins. No played games. Very, very good. Our quarterback is up to like a 93 already. So, yeah, when you draft a quarterback that has Superstar X Factor, it's pretty fucking easy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. None of our guys. Nope. Keenan Williams and Josh Allen are both on the sacks list with 18 and 17. So we might take a look at stats afterwards. But let's get to it. Let's get to the divisional round. Nothing else to really look at. I'm glad we're not going another season because Roquan, David Montgomery, Michael Thomas, Brian Edwards, Eric Thomas, Quincy Taylor, Paul Kendricks, and Deshaun Malone are all coming off contract, which would be a nightmare to try to re-sign. In the divisional round, we're going to end up taking on the 9-8 New York Giants. Let's see if we can make the conference championship. We're taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks in the championship. We won 35-28. Tampa Bay, every time we've met them in the playoffs, they have beaten the living shit out of us. So let's see if we can finally make it back to the Super Bowl. We ended up beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it was like 35-21. And we're going to be taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you remember, we played them in Season 1 for the Super Bowl, and they barely beat us just by a touchdown. We want our vengeance, and this is the last season, so let's get it done.
Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. Super Bowl 62. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New Orleans Saints.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
Okay, let's see if my team can pull it through. I'm not going to jump in. I don't really care that much. So if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. I'm hoping we win, though. We go up 3-0 in the first. Good defensive game so far. Pittsburgh answers with a 7-point. Now we're up 10-7, 10-10 at the half. Nobody really doing anything here in the third. We go up 13-10. Pittsburgh 17-10. 17-16. Our team has to do something. We fucking fail once again. 17-16 Pittsburgh. Looking at the stats, Hunter Jackson, 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks. Very good season from him. Kamara, 1,400 yards, 22 touchdowns. David Montgomery, 400 yards, 9 touchdowns. Very good running back group with over 30 touchdowns between them. Edwards, over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Randy Dupree, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns, and Michael Thomas, almost 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. Kamara did not score a touchdown through the air, but David Montgomery had 6. Wow. He was scoring on a clip of almost like just under 2, like 1.8, 1.7 catches he had. Blocking doesn't matter because it's still broken in Madden. Roquan Smith had 147 tackles. And I just messed that up. Good job. Keenan Williams, 27 tackles for loss, 26 for Josh Allen, 18 for Vic, 16 for Davenport, 13 for Roquan, 11 for Jordan Brooks. And sacks, 18.5 for Keenan Williams, 17.5 for Josh Allen, 8 for Vic. Marcus Davenport was 6.5. I don't know what's wrong with him. He even had a higher overall in terms of edge rusher for per right end rusher and left end rusher than Josh Allen, but for some reason he's still just not getting sacks. That's something I never understood. Whatever. 4 picks for Lattimore, 3 for CGJ, 3 for Adebayo, 2 for Brooks, 1 for Williams, Smith, Overstreet, Taylor, Stevens, Howard, and Thomas. So our defense definitely created some turnovers there. That's for damn sure. Touchdowns. 1 touchdown for CGJ. Kicking was fine from McPherson. Only missing 1 extra point in my eyes. Missing 4 total kicks though. Jake Bailey, fine as always. 1 return touchdown for Denny on kicks, and that is it. So this didn't turn out exactly how we wanted it to, but 2 Super Bowl runs, a grand total of, 4 deep playoff runs, 2 missed playoffs, I think it was. We had a very good couple of years. If we wanted to keep going, we definitely could. We would have to upgrade the wide receiving core going into the offseason. Linebacking core would have to be drafted once again, and we would probably have to start trading off some of the veterans that were getting more expensive with age that just didn't perform. Marcus Davenport, I'm looking at you. But that being said, guys, if you guys enjoy this content or any other content here on my channel, whether it's NBA, 2K, MLB, or even Madden, stick around, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys will be notified anytime I upload. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.